Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the delayed market intel brief for today, but just got overcome by events. Did two live trade briefs today. One at 3 o'clock called Solo Amazon, where we talked about what's going on just in Amazon. And then we also did our weekly options brief at 1 o'clock. Very active day. More or less kind of a scratch, essentially today in the weekly options brief, about down $1,400. But look at March. March in the weekly options portfolio, $271,000, and year to date, just in weekly options, is $337,000. Just pounding Brazil into the dirt. Vail Mountain Resorts, Japan, Apple. Just been epic. A couple of the so Boeing, black eye for me last week, literally a coin flip. That'll learn me not to flip coins. It was either going to go bankrupt or Trump was going to do something about it. Moderna is a biotech company, and that's one of our lottery tickets in case. And then I'm waiting for the S&P and RET to come in line here. But again, apologize for the delayed brief here. But this is it's a bad movie right now. And I really wish it were a bad movie. The United States naval ship Comfort pulled into New York Harbor today and is tied up. I never in my life thought I'd see two of our naval hospital ships deployed to America. I've seen these ships, tsunami hits Indonesia. Here comes Navy power. It's my God, folks, we have an aircraft carrier. We have a battle group. We have the Theodore Roosevelt. 5,000 people on that carrier pulled into Guam right now, and COVID racing through an aircraft carrier. You can't, just the top of the Drudge Report here is just, you can't even, we're more or less surrounded with bad news. I guess when you're surrounded, like Chesty Puller said at the Battle of the Frozen Chosen, we can attack in any direction. I have it on firsthand authority that the Mercy, which is up in LA, has at a minimum 4 infected sailors that were taken off the boat. The ship's complement is about 800, I believe. And if you've never seen berthing, meaning the sleeping areas on board a ship like this or any naval ship, they are, bunks are about a foot apart. The enlisted berthing on the Comfort is about 150 sailors. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at this, but I'm going to tell you that the Navy is taking it on the chin here, folks, and it's bad. Let's go overseas. Wuhan residents dismiss official coronavirus death toll. The incinerators have been working around the clock. I told you this back in January. We saw the videos before they got deleted, before the guys got arrested. We got them out. I got them to you, and we saw it. An ash cloud over Wuhan of human remains. Oh, it's smog. Hey, Einstein, there ain't any smog in a city that's been shut down. The only vehicles driving are army trucks throwing dead bodies in the back. Yeah, okay, it's smog, doofus. Brazil, this guy is a complete moron. He's the Trump of the tropics. Bolsonaro is by himself. This thing's stupid. It's a hoax. It's the liberal media. Get back to work. Blah, 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 blah. It is raging through Brazil. His health minister said, hey, man, in about a week or two, the entire healthcare system of Brazil will implode. His words, not mine. And this guy could care less. Sao Paulo's governor, who used to be a big supporter of Bolsonaro, has said, we're done. He's ripped Bolsonaro apart and is trying to quarantine. These guys, it's too late. So Bolsonaro, done. This guy's an idiot. EWZ, unfortunately, again, Gordon Gekko moment, when you see an opportunity to potentially make some money, you got to do it. Implosion. Hey, no, all clear, Wiz. You were wrong last implosion. This thing is Brazil. You've never seen anything like it. If you've never been to Brazil and seen the favelas and the slum and it's going to race through that country and devastate it. And I weep for Brazil. British scientific advisors to the prime minister who was infected. Their numbers 40 times worse in China. I'm going to say that the little birdies that fly around my network, probably 1 million people in China. Mid to upper six figures easily. Fact. China gets back to work while U.S. extends our shutdowns. They're getting reinfected. There's a second wave hitting China, folks. It's going to blow up in their face. Isn't it weird how the entire world, Spain, France, Italy, the United States, we're all rocketing past China's numbers? Oh my God, they must have been super fantastic. Well, of course, they lied about everything, but they also used draconian tactics. We can't even get people to stop partying in Florida. They would have thrown people into trucks, never to be seen again. Yesterday, Dr. Fauci clearly made waves on CNN by saying, hey, man, we're going to have millions of cases and probably 100 to 200,000 Americans dead. Around the same time, these videos were being snuck out of New York City. This is Mount Sinai Hospital in Brooklyn. These are New Yorkers, dead New Yorkers, being loaded into refrigerated trucks because the morgues are full. And at the same time, Donald Trump was tweeting about how his ratings were higher than The Bachelor. You can't make this up. This isn't China. This isn't Wuhan. That's Brooklyn. And those were Americans. It's a disgrace. This is the make or break week. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, this was nothing but trade markets overshot to the downside. They overshot to the upside. Okay, last week was trading, and window dressing is about to end. Window dressing is at the end of every quarter, folks, and portfolio rebalancing, but portfolio managers have to send out a report, and hedge fund managers, to all their investors on the 1st of April that says, here's how we're looking. And last week, as we saw a little bit of a rally, everybody jumped onto it to try and make some coin so they didn't look like a jackwad to their investors. What's going to happen on April 1st? I'm going to steal Bill Ackman's sentence from 2 weeks ago, and he was right before he turned into a coward and got smacked around by the White House, and now he's like super pro yay markets. April 1st is a reckoning, followed by April 3rd. What happens on April 1st, ladies and gentlemen? Nobody, including Cheesecake Factory, 47,000 in estimated, and I think that number is double, businesses, and a lot of people aren't paying the mortgage, the rent, anything on April 1st. The bills are now coming due for big companies and millions of laid off workers. Decisions made in the next few days will shape how coronavirus impacts the economy. Does anybody on the face of this earth think that in 2 days from now, that if people are out of work, they're cutting a check for their mortgage? Or if you own a restaurant and you've been closed for 3 weeks and you laid off all your workers, you're going to pay your rent? Bill Blaine, great article. Don't be fooled. April is going to hurt. Oil prices, folks. Oil became a teenager today, last night and today, below 20. I'm not going to use this time to go on a rant about how stupid Trump is, that low oil is great for America. Low oil means hundreds of thousands of Americans fired, laid off from the oil services sector and the massive oil companies. Nebraska, Louisiana, Texas. These oil states are going to be destroyed with oil down here. Why, if Donald Trump thinks low oil is great for America, did he get on the phone today with Vladimir Putin and more or less put the chapstick on and beg for Putin to cut production, to raise prices? Wait, Wiz, I thought weeks ago he tweeted about low oil's great. The dude has no idea what he's talking about. Might be a genius in New York real estate. He's an idiot when it comes to energy. I'm not even going into everything, but Bill Blaine nails it that April is going to be a nightmare. What happens on Wednesday, Wiz? Good question. When they didn't get bailed out, folks. Nancy Pelosi was too busy with all her pork and crap that she loaded in the stimulus bill. Where's the mortgage lenders bailout after blaming the Fed for forcing staggering, unprecedented margin calls? So what happens when you decide on Wednesday not to write your mortgage check? Oh, that evil mortgage company, they have enough money to take care of this. Anybody remember the company AIG in 2008? They do insurance. Guess what they also do? Reinsurance. So all these mortgage companies that are like, whoa, we expected X amount on Wednesday and we got zero. What do you think they do? They just kind of go, oh, well, they have investors. They have, folks, this is going to be a domino. This is insanity. These mortgage companies are going to implode, and it's going to cause a chain impact and effect. How about Amazon today? Amazon and Instacart workers. Amazon, hey, we'll pay you $17 an hour, not give you any personal protection equipment. And by the way, this virus can live on cardboard for about 6 hours, but keep on moving packages around. Just hold your breath. They just fired the dude too. Amazon worker who led strike over virus says the company fired him. Today in solo Amazon, I exited my long call positions on Amazon and XLY, and I am loading the boat to be bearish. Folks, this is out there. This is a fact. I microwave, not this far, but this is a fact too. I microwave my mail and any FedEx packages that don't have plastic in them, clearly. The thing can live on cardboard, folks. It lived on the surfaces of a cruise ship for 17 days. Not 14 for these 2-week quarantines, not 15 to stop the spread, 17 days on a cruise ship. You want to go risk your life for $17 an hour? These workers, I'm not Super Joe Union here, man, either, but these workers are literally risking their lives so I can get my new Lulu shorts that I ordered the other day. And they're potentially spreading the virus. Same thing with the United States Post Office. In other jackwad news, finally the FBI is looking into Senator Burr. This man's a liar. He should have been arrested. If this was you or me, if this was Martha Stewart went to prison for doing less than this guy. He got a top secret classified brief, left and sold all his stocks. And you know what he's telling you as a defense? He didn't sell it because of the brief. He sold it because on CNBC he saw some bad news. He says that with a straight face. If that's the case, CNBC is smarter than our National Command Authority and intelligence services. You're going to jail, you son of a bitch. Let me get back to this first. Before I click on this, I'm going to tell you I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm starting to see images, ladies and gentlemen, in the media. This hasn't even happened yet. AJ Buckley, that's a little weird to have on my screen, but there's AJ Buckley. He's the star of SEAL Team on CBS. I'm supposed to be watching that right now. He's a member of our Afterburner trading group. Just learning how to trade options. He's a great American. Watch CBS SEAL Team, but he's in the Afterburner group here. Where the hell's my tweet I just posted? Oh, here it is. Hundreds of cars. No, that's not it. Here it is, right here. Hundreds of cars, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? Wait, this is for a food bank, ladies and gentlemen. This hasn't even started yet. Hundreds of cars wait to receive food from the Greater Community Food Bank in Duquesne. Look at the image of people waiting in line for food. My God, folks, this thing hasn't even started yet. It looks like a depression. Your cause of panic or fear, Wiz. That's an image that speaks for itself. Look how long the line is. I'm warning you, ladies and gentlemen, and I've been warning you. And if you didn't listen, enjoy the food line, man. Now I'm going to click on this. And this is, I'm still trying to digest this. The Federal Reserve today, ladies and gentlemen, job losses could total 47 million Americans. Unemployment might hit 32%. I can't even, that doesn't register with me, to be brutally honest with you. My brain housing group cannot wrap my mind around this. And let me blow your mind even more. Those numbers are low, in my opinion. We have 47 million Americans out of work on the streets. We have 700, 600 New York City cops deathly ill. Your local police department, let's say 50% of those guys are wiped out and can't work. And you have 50 million Americans out of work. Oh, and by the way, hedge funds are getting bailed out. Airlines are getting bailed out. People are being paid not to work. This is a recipe for disaster. So, what's this have to do with investing, folks? With all of this news, that is absolute proof that since the market, and look at this, explosion X mini, and we are getting, I predicted this, folks, implosion, and I said a W, and then an inflection point. What happens on Friday, ladies and gentlemen? Another reckoning. Non-farm payroll numbers. This will be the March unemployment report, and it's going to be staggering. Now, don't get suckered into this, folks. What do I mean by that? I'm starting to hear ridiculous numbers like, oh, there's going to be 100 million, 90% unemployment. You know what people are doing right now? They're doing the Apple. Apple is a classic, oh my God, our earnings are going to suck this quarter. I don't know how we're going to stay in business. And then they report that they bought Christmas and the stock explodes. Sandbagging. They're lowballing expectations. Let me lower the bar so low that when I knock it out of the park, I look like a superhero. So don't listen to the ridiculousness. That happened last week with the weekly unemployment claims, right? Oh my God, the whisper number was 6 million, 7 million, 2.3 or whatever it was. Oh, it's not as bad. That's 2.3 million. There was a million in California alone, folks. Do I have your attention? Do you think this is a bottom? Folks, Donald Trump went from tomorrow, March 31st, evaluating the 15 days that we've been in. Folks, the 15-day clock, and it's 17 on a cruise ship, the 15-day clock doesn't start until the last dude or lady stops partying and goes home. And it cracks me. And so the president punted yesterday to the end of April. And today, I have to watch the press conference again. I can't. I'm starting not to watch the press conferences. The man's awful. He's awful. Well, the reporters, these liberal media people, bait him into it. You're telling me that the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States, can't not be baited into rolling around with a pig? What is it, Mark Twain or whatever? Like, don't argue with an idiot because you'll be brought down to their level and they'll beat you with experience. He walks into their ambush every day and he looks unhinged. And for all the people on my social media with your inverted Trump derangement syndrome who, oh my God, does not compute, you say something wrong about Trump, I attack. Who would be better? You know who would be better? I'd vote for tomorrow. I'd raise money for the guy. I'd be his Secretary of Defense, former Secretary of Defense, General Mattis, Mad Dog. Donald Trump is not a wartime president. Donald Trump was a fantastic president for the past 3 years. Low unemployment, beat China into submission, didn't get impeached, you name it, great. Now we're physically at war. I warned you since 9/11, folks. I've warned everybody I talked to. I said the next to 9/11 will not be airliners. It will be biological or chemical. We have been attacked. Trump is not a wartime president. Get General Mattis in there at the Republican convention. Out with Trump. Or stop talking, Mr. President, and have Mike Pence step up. All right. So what am I doing? Folks, added to some bearish positions today, added to Vail Mountain Resorts. I'm hearing they're not even going to pay their lease either. They lease land from the Forestry Service or the BLM, Bureau of Land Management. Why the hell, if you're Vail or Aspen or any of these ski areas, are you going to pay your rent to the government? They didn't get bailed out. Bailed out the airlines. Well, what about our ski areas and our workers? And tough. That's the next round. I know some people were shocked when you heard me say the B word, bullish. Guess what? They're already talking about phase 4, folks. Phase 3, whatever we're in right now, you didn't even get a check yet. And go look at the Small Business Administration website. And God bless you if you can fill that form out. There is no way on God's green earth in the next 2 weeks this government gets everybody what they need as far as money. I told you, folks. Here's the only thing that Mnuchin and Trump needed to do. A web page with 2 fields. What did you make last month? What do you need for the next 30 days? And a big bold letters like this font. If you lie, you're going to federal prison for 10 years minimum. Click submit. Click the button that says, I read this and know I'm going to prison if I lie about this, and click enter. They got your direct deposit information, folks. This is a nightmare. It's Nancy Pelosi, it's the pork, it's the crap, everything that they put into this thing. This could have been, I'm still furious about with Trump with the whole, when I'm elected, it'll be a postcard. Your taxes will be, remember this bullshit? He'd hold up a card, like one little card to do your taxes. I just got my taxes, man. It's a phone book, Mr. President. Another promise broken. Oh, whatever, man. I'm sick of the Trump apologist. God. Anyway, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Implosion. Rally, whiz. This was the bottom. You want to buy stocks right now? You want to quote, I love this term. We laugh in our live trade briefs. Every time we hear the word nibble from somebody on CNBC or Fox, we have to take a shot. I'd be dead if I did that. I think I'm going to nibble shot. If you're very, very long-term investor, you could nibble another shot. Nibble at what, folks? Me, I was starting to, think about nibbling out to September. Folks, we're not even close. We haven't even peaked yet. Some of these jobs will never come back. I'm doing disaster. But how about post-disaster? Guys like, Wiz, I need you to help me do disaster planning for my business. I'm like, you're a little late. You're in a disaster. But anyway, what I'm getting at is he's like, out of his 20 employees, he's recognized that he needs about 3 of them. The dude's in tears. He's like, oh my God. Well, that lady apparently all she did was drink coffee and go to lunch all day. And now that we're remote, I can't, my business can survive, but these people have to go. Heartbreaking. So this initial round of waiters, waitresses, people that lost their jobs, man, guess what's going to happen to these people in the warehouses? Do you think Jeffrey Bezos is the richest man in the world because he's stupid? He's sitting here like, are you kidding me? Workers are holding us hostage because they're working in crappy conditions. This time next year, I predict, you will be looking at the Robo 3000, which has replaced every human worker in their plant. They were already moving that way anyway. The dislocation that is coming to this, it's epic. This country will never be the same. We will never forget 9/11. I will never forget 9/11. That's why I'm sitting here today. It changed the arc of my life. This is life-changing, folks. For the love of God, man, there's a freaking field hospital in Central Park. There's bodies being loaded at my sources, who one removed to actually somebody on the damn Mercy. Come on, Wiz. What do you think we're going for? This is going to be a floating morgue. You think we want pictures of people being not thrown, God almighty, I'm sorry about that, not thrown in the refrigerated tanks, but placed? Where's the silver lining in this? It's a virus, folks. We will get through it. I'm going to cover tomorrow. I had it. You ready for this? I just got off the phone a little while ago. You guys remember in the, second week in January, I was laid out. I thought I was dying. Talking to some people smarter than me with DRs in front of their name, like, dude, that was it. That was most likely it. I'm like, oh, thank God. I've never had the flu in my life, and in January I almost died. When I didn't die and I got online the next week, I'm like, Trump's lying about this. So I'm trying to piece all this shit together, but it shocked me. I had a doctor buddy, he's like, dude, I just retraced everything mentally. You most likely were at the front wave of this. I'm like, oh my God. What am I getting at? I can't. It breaks my heart sometimes talking about money and investing and shit like this when we're hurtling towards an uncertain future. But what I'm getting at is, it's a virus. It dies. It goes away. It can come back. All sorts of shit like that. But hopefully we get this herd. What do they call it? Herd immunity, where 80%, where we're fine. But I'm telling you, folks, the guy Trump effed it away. He was warned, and nobody was going to rain on his parade. He sat there in Davos, stared into the camera of CNBC, and was more or less furious that he was asked a question about this. I believe Xi. I trust Xi. He's on it. I believe their numbers. Not even a threat to the United States. That's not what the man was being told, as we see from Senator Burr, Senator Feinstein, and other senators who got those briefings and dumped their stock. Anyway, the high note is we're going to get through this. The other high note is if your sales are trimmed appropriately for the, I think I nailed this. Didn't nail this much of an overshoot up, but I got the rebalancing. And then You have a choice to make. You either believe this is the all clear and every 43 million people unemployed, super fun, fantastic time for the stock market, or you don't. And you position your sales accordingly for the storm that's coming. Here's the high note. I would love nothing more than to do one of these briefs and go, holy shit, I'm an idiot. I could not have been more wrong. Because if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, people live. If I'm wrong, the market's heading higher. If I'm wrong, I'll be happy. I will gladly be happy that I'm wrong. I will scream it from the rooftops. I don't feel like I am. As an F-18 pilot, as an options trader, I plan for the worst and hope for the best. And if the best happens, I'm elated. If you're planning for the best right now and it doesn't happen, you're going to be destroyed. I can't put it in any other more clear terms. Okay? Going to get through it. The bounce higher in this market, in my opinion, is going to be double what we went down, man. We are going to rock and live to fight another day. I know it. But we've never been here before, and I know that can be a little unsettling. We're going to talk tomorrow in the ugly video about some of my favorites of meditating and stuff like that. But you really have to, you really got to, I meditated twice today, man. First one I got up to get centered, and then halfway through the day, I'm like, you know what? I'll stop, get centered, and it really, really is helping me out. It helps my investment decisions. It helps with the family. It helps with everything. Okay, so I appreciate all the kind comments and everything like that. People ordering books and Power Now and starting to meditate and everything like that. It will change. If you'll read in some of the books I've recommended that if everybody in the world was meditating, we wouldn't be having this problem right now. And there wouldn't be borders. And listen to me, pro borders guy. There wouldn't be shit going on in this world. But we still got dudes over in the desert wanting to kill each other from 2,000 years ago, and they'll still be doing it 2,000 years from now. Let them do it. I got to get going, man. I'm going to go flop down, grab one of my books, and enjoy the rest of the night. I'll see many of you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the primary live trade brief. Have a great rest of your night. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless America.